The Sacramento Kings have just been finessed by the San Antonio Spurs, by the Chicago Bulls. The De'Aaron Fox trade actually happened, and I cannot believe the return. And this is not me trashing on Zach LaVine, because I'm actually pretty excited to see Zach LaVine in a Kings uniform and Malik Monk to see what he can do as the primary ball handler. We got all reports about the plans Monte McNair has in place. I'm not saying all that, but De'Aaron Fox is one of the best point guards in the entire NBA. He has been a monster. He has been a phenom for this Sacramento Kings team. Sure, there's been some ups and downs over the course of his career, but this guy had a year and a half left on his contract. The reason you're dealing him now is to get ahead of all these trade things. Oh, they're leaving, the leverage and all that type of stuff. And this is the return. This is the return. Like, Zach LaVine is a phenomenal basketball player. Don't get me wrong. He is great. This season, he has been awesome. He has been magnetic, like 24 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. But once we saw the official report come out that Sacramento is finalizing a trade to send De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs in a multi-team trade that includes the Chicago Bulls sending Zach LaVine to the Kings, I looked at that and said, okay, cool. Zach LaVine coming to the Kings? He is a great basketball player, win now mode. The team isn't tanking. This is interesting. Sure, we did have the DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine experience before. It was a very low to mid team out there in the Eastern Conference, but they're both good basketball players. You put the right team around them and you get some assets on top of it. Hey, I'm fine. I'm not that frustrated, but we need to see what else is in this package. I imagined if Zach LaVine was coming, because all of the reports, everything that came out regarding Zach LaVine was the Bulls couldn't get anyone to even think about acquiring Zach LaVine. And it's not because of his stats. It's not because he is a bad basketball player. I mean, he is good. He is good. 24, 5, and 4, shooting 45% from the three-point line, 44% on corner threes. He's not that old and washed. He's 29 years old, going to be 30 now in a few days. But Zach LaVine has dealt with so many injuries over the course of his career. Just so many. The dude is hurt. His knees are bad. He's having a great year this year, but he has had so many injuries. The injury risk is very, very high. And then on top of it, in this whole situation, everything that's going out, like, his contract is not good. It's been regarded as one of the worst contracts in the entire NBA. That's what people were saying. It was an untradeable contract. $43 million per year this year, $45 million per year next year, and then $49 million out there in 2026, 2027. And again, this is for a guy that really struggles to stay out there on the basketball court in regards to injuries, in regards to all that. So Zach LaVine's a good talent. I think the hate in regards to his value and stuff is a little overblown. But if he is the centerpiece, if he is the main guy you're getting back for De'Aaron Fox, for a dude averaging 25, 6, and 6, whatever the heck those numbers are, that's your main piece you're getting back? What are you doing, Monte McNair? Why? You could... Jeremy Sohan, what do we get? Devin Vassell. We were talking about Stephen Castle. We're talking about prospects. We're talking about guys that could have an impact and build for the future of this team. We're bringing in a 30-year-old injury risk at a position which is already the most stacked position on the Kings team. The only position we didn't need is center and 2 guard. That's all Zach LaVine plays. Okay, so I saw that. I'm like, what are we getting on top of it? This is draft compensation. The full deal is De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin to the Spurs, Zach LaVine, Sidi Sissoko, and 3 first-round picks. And we'll take a look at these, because you look at 2025 Charlotte, that's great. 2027 Spurs, that's far off. The Spurs have Wemby, that's going to be like the 30th pick. And then the 2031 Minnesota Timberwolves. You're drafting someone in 3rd grade right now. And then a few seconds. The Bulls' second is good, because they're going to be bad this season, but you're also you got to get off of Kevin Huerter's money too. So let's take that into account. The Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter go to the Bulls. These picks are bad, with exception of the 2031 and the 2025 second. The 2025 second's all right, but that Charlotte pick is just going to be a couple second-round picks. It's top 14 protected, so we'll go through these draft picks that Monte McNair picked up. As 31st, okay, in the modern NBA. That Charlotte pick is protected 1 through 14. That turns into 2 seconds. So that's just 2 second-round picks. Whatever. Jay Crowder netted you 5 second-round picks 2 years ago. So that's whatever. The Spurs have Victor Wembanyama. They are not going to be a team that's below 25 out there in 2027, whenever that pick conveys. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have Ant. That's too far in the future to predict. But if the best pick you're getting is a 2031 pick, 2031, why? Why even move De'Aaron Fox? Like, why do it now? This is a package you could have got. The Bulls are begging people. They're begging people to get off of Zach LaVine. Begging. This Kings team is I'm hopeful. I know I'm going to talk myself into this. I know I'm going to look at Zach LaVine put in 25 next game and then we lose. And it's like, oh, but it's looking good. I'll be positive because that's just my personality. I get bought into this crap, but this is shocking. This is shocking. We took on an albatross contract. We took on like a 2031 first. Basically late 30s picks. You basically got 2 firsts, 4 seconds, took on a bad contract. You took a flyer. The City Sissoko guy hasn't played at all. He's a French forward, averaging 1 point per game. He's 20. He's athletic. He blocks shots, apparently. I talked to our Spurs Digest guys, but this is generationally bad. Maybe not generationally bad. The Luka trade is generationally bad. This trade is bad. This trade is bad. And this is not me trashing on Zach LaVine. But what are we looking at here with the Kings' future right now? Do we think, and we have some updates, so we have some context in terms of what this team is looking like. So the Kings view Malik Monk as their primary initiator after dealing away De'Aaron Fox. Sacramento will start Monk and Zach LaVine alongside each other in their backcourt. Sacramento's new starting lineup is Monk, LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. And if this unlocks Malik Monk, if this turns Malik Monk into an all-star, hey, cool. This improves our shooting. Zach LaVine's a really good shooter, so that's an upgrade. But our depth is still an issue. Our defense got worse. The defense got worse for Sacramento. This team's defense is cooked. And we expect to compete in the West, again, I don't think this team is horrific. But this trade, it just doesn't make any sense. This team screams to me like the pinnacle of the 12th seed, the 12th overall pick. With the 12th overall pick for the next 5 years, the Sacramento Kings are selecting some random bum that's not going to do anything for years. Why? Why, Monte? Why? Shout out to De'Aaron Fox. Amazing career with Sacramento, but I'm sick of this. You made it this far in the video. I mean, hopefully the Kings do something. You're part of the 83%. Hit that subscribe button, but I don't blame any of you for not subscribing right now. This is devastating. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.